What up, YouTube? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sherry. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're doing well and I hope everything is wonderful in your world. So today I have for you just a get ready with me. I have been thick in the throes of second grade immersion. I don't know what the right word is. Let's just say I've been handcuffed to a desk in a second grade classroom because it takes a long time to get a second grade classroom up and running. So I've been very busy. I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. And today I'm getting ready to go to the movie with my mom. So I thought I would film something. I've been having a lot of people ask me about my health issues and asking for an update. So I thought I would give an update on that. And I've been doing a little bit of shopping on the 21 days of beauty sale. So I kind of wanted to use some of my new goodies. So if you'd like to hang around with me and chit chat and just get caught up while I do my makeup, then please keep watching. So I have put on all my skincare and primers and some foundation, and I'm going to go in with some new concealer. I don't know how I feel about it. I have used it a little bit, but we'll chit chat about it while I put it on my face. I believe I learned about this Estee Lauder Double Wear, Estee Lauder Double Wear Instant Fix Concealer. It's got a serum on one side and a foundation, a concealer on the other. And I think I learned about this from my friend Bridget from Keeping It Simple with Bridget. I will link her up there for you. She is incredible. But anyways, it's got a little bit of a serum on one side and a concealer on the other. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I've used it a couple times. I did feel, as per usual, that I needed to add another more pigmented, I guess, concealer. I'm going to put this serum stuff on here. I'm not going to go in too ham with it. It kind of interferes with my foundation. So yeah, I don't know about it. So I'm just going to massage that in or tap that in so that it stays right there. But it's supposed to like kind of hydrate your under eye so that when you put your foundation, why do I keep saying foundation? When you put your concealer on top of it, your under eye is nice and hydrated. I don't feel like the concealer is heavy enough. As you can see, it's kind of doing wonky business with my foundation there. I don't think it's enough. I don't think there's enough coverage for me because I have super dark circles just from, you know, health issues and such. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on here, but I'm going to mix in some Shape Tape. Also, this doesn't, you'll hear Boo Bear is running around inside this room, and I think he feels like he's trapped even though the door is a little bit open. I wish you could see him. But anyways, I did get this during the Ulta sale, so I wanted to give it a shot and see how it works. And as usual, I have to mix it with something else. And I guess I'm always going to be on the pursuit of a foundation and a concealer that I don't have to mix with anything else, that just does it as far as coverage and color. And like the one that I have on, the Estee Lauder, is a little bit yellow. This one has a little bit of a pinky tone, and this is the light medium honey. And the combination of the two work well. And the day that a foundation color matches me and has all the coverage and finish that I would like, and the day that one concealer is enough, you know, I think it might be the day that Jesus comes back. So if that ever happens, I'm gonna be like, I'm ready for you. He is in a trash can. Oh, I wish that if I didn't think it would mess up everything, I would totally show you what he's doing, all his shenanigans down here below me. Crazy boy. So I think the fact that I did the serum did funky business. I'm gonna zoom you in just a tad. Did funky business right there with my foundation. So I don't know, maybe I'll just put a little bit more Shape Tape and try to fix it a little bit down there on both sides. I mean, that was the appeal of that concealer. Apparently I'm going to say it wrong for the whole video, so if I say foundation, I probably mean concealer. is that it's going to hydrate and have the under eye nice and prepped. But if it's going to mess around with, you know, the foundation stuff that I already have on, I don't know that that is a selling point for me to have to, you know, deal with wonkiness. Who wants to deal with wonkiness? Not I. So I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And we will go from there. I think I decided that I'm going to do an Ulta haul today. I was going to do my Boxycharm, but something funky is going on with Boxycharm this week. Man, am I rusty or what? I got an email from them about a week ago saying that it would be here on the 10th, and today is the 14th. And so I'm not sure what the problem is, but I also got an email saying that there was a delay for 24 to 48 hours, which it has been beyond that. And I also got an email from Boxycharm saying that even though I filled out the preferences, they sent me the thing that I did not prefer, or the customization. They sent me the other thing, not the thing that I asked for. I'm like, okay, the purpose of the customization is so that you send me the product that I want, but you sent me the product that I didn't want. Okay. I'm gonna use the Peach Perfect by Too Faced. Anyways, I was like, okay, you didn't send me what I asked for, but they're sending me what I didn't ask for, and they're gonna send me what I did ask for. So apparently, maybe they didn't get the products in time to send out the boxes, or there was just a mistake. I don't know what it was. All of that big, huge story to tell you that I don't have my Boxycharm. And I'm hoping it'll get here today so that I can film multiple videos today, because it just seems like my filming time has completely evaporated into nothingness. But that happens every year when I start school, doesn't it? Yes, it does. All of a sudden, I can't get 3 videos in a week, and all of a sudden, all those things that I had in my bank, my video bank, are going away quickly, and there's nothing to replace them. So hopefully today, I will get at least this video and another one filmed. We shall see. So speaking of Boxycharm, I hope that I don't get this next item because I bought it. I've been wanting this forever, and it is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette, just because all the colors look like they would work well for me. Everything's in one spot. I keep buying face palettes just because I like them, and I don't use them as often as I should, but I have been. I've been using my Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Face Palette. I've been using my Benefit Cheek Parade. So I've been trying to use them, and I enjoy them. It's all in one spot. You don't have to pull out a whole bunch of products. You're just all inclusive, and I like that. So anyways, this is what it looks like. It is super gorgeous. And it's that hard ceramic thing like the Peachy Mattes one. I love that, and it's so pretty. Anyways, it's got 2 bronzer shades, or a contour and a bronzer, 2 blushes, and 2 highlights. And I wore it the other day, and it smells like vanilla, and it's lovely. So I'm going to use it today and show you how it works. After I do this, I'm going to be like, I really ought to do the haul first, because this is going to be like a bunch of mini reviews. The hairs. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly put on bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and then I'll be back with you. All right, so I look pretty bronzy. I'm not sure. I hope that whenever I put everything else on, I don't look so bronzy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go in with my MAC paint pots to prime my eyes, and then I'll do my eyebrows, and I will give you a health update. I had a couple people send me Snapchats and Instagrams asking me about what's been going on, because I just said I had some health issues. I've been undergoing lots of testing and blah, blah, blah. So I'll try to make it not so involved, but it is involved. At the beginning of the summer, I guess at the end of the school year and sort of going into the summer, I just really started having some major fatigue, and it's not anything that I'm not already used to. I always have fatigue, always. Like I start on 25% on a good day, in comparison to most people's 100%. I kind of start at 25, so it doesn't take much exertion or activity for me to be out of steam, but it was a little bit worse than usual, and so I didn't think that there was anything else wrong per se, because when you have fibro you just kind of feel crappy all the time, and so it's just varying degrees of crappy. You don't think, oh well, there might be something else wrong, but then on one of my blood draws from my rheumatologist, I was severely anemic, and she was concerned not only the fact that my hemoglobin was low, but also my white blood cell count. And so we started iron, and of course iron and my stomach don't get along, never have. I've had bouts with anemia before, and it made me super sick. So that was just, it was not a fun summer. And on top of that, the fact that I was tired all the time, I was not able to go to sleep well at night and not able to stay asleep, like multiple wake ups. On a good night, 2 or 3, on a bad night, 8 to 10. So it was just not a good summer, not a good health summer. And so from that point, they had me go to a hematologist to have like a really in-depth blood panel done. And at that point, when I saw the hematologist, I'd been on the iron for almost 2 months, and it was right at the beginning of school. And they were saying, you know, you may have a bleed in your body somewhere. They had me do a liver and a spleen ultrasound that didn't show anything. And then I guess the readings, if they were significantly worse than what they were the last time that I had had a blood draw, then they would say, okay, you're losing blood somewhere. We've got to figure it out. So you need an endoscopy to check your gastric bypass. You need a colonoscopy to make sure there's not a bleed in your intestines and all GI tract and all that jazz. But that will be, let's get your blood work done first, and we'll find out from there. Well, apparently, which this is good news, I had all my readings were, I think my hemoglobin went from 9 to 13.5 something. Anyways, when it all came down to it, I was on the very low end of normal. For instance, if 10 to 20 was normal, then I was 10. There was only one white blood cell type that I was really low in, and that was lymphocytes or something like that. I have no idea how to explain all this, because it's all, you know, medical terms that I don't even think I'm saying right, or I may be saying one reading for one and it's really the reading for another. So just all of that to say, they don't believe that there's a bleed anywhere, and so there would be no further testing in that area until the end of November, when they will do another blood draw and make sure that my numbers continue to go up, or at least stay steady and stable. So that's good news. I did pursue a sleep study, because at one time I had sleep apnea, but they were saying that it was due to my weight and the, you know, is it circumference of my neck, or the distance around my neck? I don't know what it's called, but the measurement of my neck. Like a man would measure for a shirt size. That's how they determine, like, if you have like a bigger neck, when you're laying down, there's a capacity for it to interfere with the, you know, oxygen flow when you're breathing, etc. And so at one time I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, and I slept with a CPAP machine for like 5 years until it died, and then I stopped, obviously. But at that point I was about 75 pounds heavier, and so sometimes, you know, the sleep apnea will work itself out as you lose weight, and so I wasn't having any sleep disturbances, so I wasn't in such a hurry to have another sleep study. It's one of those really inconvenient things, because where I get referred to is about an hour and a half away, and it probably would require me to take a couple days off work. Or anyways, I wasn't willing to do it until this summer, when the sleep disturbances got really out of hand. And, you know, that coupled with the anemia fatigue and the fatigue of fibromyalgia, and I was just a mess, a big mess. And so all that, you know, consultation, all that stuff has been done. They just have to approve it through my insurance, and I will be doing a sleep study in the near future. And luckily they referred it to the town that I work in, which is only about 20 minutes away from where I live, and so that will be a much more convenient place to follow up with, and place to get to and not have to take off work. They also offer weekends, which they didn't at the clinic that I was referred to before. It had to be a weeknight, which that's the reason why it ended up being an issue. Most of the time they let you go about 5 o'clock in the morning, but this particular place, they had me, it was a 2-night study, and so it's like I had to drive an hour and a half home, or I had to, you know, hang around in a city that I don't live in for 12 hours till the next, you know, appointment time. It was just a mess. But anyway, so that'll be happening soon, and hopefully I will find out what's going on and why I can't stay asleep, why I have trouble going to sleep. I endeavored at the beginning of the summer, at the beginning of my school year, I was like, you know, there's a lot of things with my health that I don't have any control of. I don't have control of the fact that I'm in chronic pain. I don't have control of the fatigue issues or the anemia or the effects of that. I don't have any control over the fact that iron makes me nauseous. And I had to, you know, eat things that I didn't want to because it was iron rich, and so I kind of went off of my diet plan, which I was doing so well I really didn't want to do that, but I kind of had to, at least temporarily. And so I decided that I was going to be in bed by 9 o'clock every night. I was going to watch TV for 30 minutes and turn the TV off and be asleep by 10. And I have done that, and I'm proud of myself because I'm a night owl, and that's really hard for me to do. But I knew that it's like that's one thing I do have control over, or so I thought, is getting enough rest and being on a sleep schedule. And I thought, you know, that being on a sleep schedule, my body would know what to expect. I'd be getting a good amount of sleep, and I wouldn't have as much fatigue and all the jazz. Well, that really hasn't been the case. I've just woken up repeatedly. I wake up, I stay awake for an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. You do that 2 or 3 times in a night, and there's no rest. I wake up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. Either, you know, staying up from a time that's way too early, or feeling groggy because I went to sleep again like at 5 or like at 4 and had to be up at 5. I also said I was going to give myself an extra hour of sleep, so that, you know, that meant, okay, I might not be able to spend very much time on my makeup. What's more important, being rested and going to school rested, or, you know, having really big eyelashes on or wearing lashes, period, when, you know, how my makeup looks when I go to work really is completely irrelevant when it comes to teaching kids. And so basically I opted for an extra hour of sleep. And you know, no lashes unless there's time, or you know, no fancy makeup, just simple stuff. And that does take away some of the joy that I, you know, got from playing with makeup and being creative and stuff in the mornings for the times that I was getting ready for work. But you know, what's important is important, and how the makeup looks is not important in the whole, you know, scheme of me getting healthier. So as I was talking, my eyebrows were getting wonkier and wonkier, and so I just kind of stopped for a minute and did them and didn't talk. They're alright. I'll leave them like they are, and sorry for the fan, but it's super hot in here for some reason, and so hopefully that won't be too distracting. But anyways, so all the things that I was trying to do to make it better, I was still super exhausted all the time. I still am. And just not getting regular sleep, not getting, you know, uninterrupted sleep is just really wearing on me. And so I'm, you know, excited. Hopefully they find what's going on, and with the CPAP or some kind of treatment, I can get some sleep. And then on the other side of it, I have had a headache for the entire summer. And I still have a headache. I have a headache all the time. And so I had already been referred. I went to a local doctor so that I could be referred to a doctor of my choice to see a neurologist who my mom sees, and he has diagnosed her with a migraine condition. And apparently you can have a migraine without a headache. But considering I do have a headache all the time, that makes a little sense. I don't have like debilitating migraines like I have heard, you know, a lot of my friends have debilitating migraines where they have to be in the bed for 2 or 3 days and in dark with no sound and all. I don't have those kind of headaches. It's just a constant, you know, dull ache, and sometimes it's at the front of my head, sometimes it's at the top of my head, and sometimes it's down my neck and all the way down. So it's hard to explain to other people, but my dad was like, Sherri, I think all your issues are neurological, and I think there's some kind of chemical imbalance or some kind of chemical something that's not right, and I just think you need to see the neurologist. And he's been bugging me about it for probably a year and a half, ever since my mom went to see this doctor, this neurologist. I don't know, it gets to the point, and this is really not like complaining or whining. It's just a fact that, you know, whenever you have any kind of illness, or you have, you know, pain or physical issues or something, and you have to see a bunch of different doctors, and some doctors are very kind and acknowledge that, you know, what you're dealing with is legit. Other doctors are very unkind and make you feel like it's all in your head, or, you know, if you just weren't fat, or if you just weren't this or that or the other thing. There's always a reason other than we don't have an answer for what's wrong. It must be something you're doing. You're drinking alcohol, you're smoking cigarettes, you're doing this or that and the other thing, all of these things that I'm not doing. Just like whenever I have my liver enzyme issue, they just assume that I drank a bunch of alcohol. And I was like, I don't drink alcohol, period. I've never been a drinker. And at that point, I told him, I was like, the last alcoholic beverage that I have had was like and now it's been like 6 years ago. On New Year's Eve, I had a champagne toast with my friends. And it was an ounce. It was like a sip. It was like toast sip. And it's not like, so I knew that wasn't the reason, but, you know, they treated me like I was lying and that I, you know, must be some kind of closet alcoholic or whatever. But when you deal with those kind of things where they say, okay, they stop at you're fat. If you weren't fat, then you wouldn't have all these issues. Or, you know, it's because you're drinking alcohol, that's why you're having this issue. Or all these, you know, presumptions, assumptions about you that aren't true. And you go through all this stuff, and it's often expensive with co-pays and such, and you know, procedures and things that you just get to the point where you're just like, no more. Like, I just can't do it anymore. And I go through phases where I say I just can't do it anymore, and I don't want to deal with doctors anymore, and I don't want, you know, to try. And it's really sad. It sounds really depressing, and it is depressing when you get to the point where you're just like, I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with all the rigmarole, all the things that I have to go through in order for them to tell me there's nothing that we can do for you, or it's all in your head, or whatever. So this summer I just kind of got to the point where I had recovered from the last round of doctors and tests, and ready to try again, ready to pursue help again, and hope that there will be some help and some answers this time. For me, you know, I hope there is something wrong that they can help with. You know, I don't want to ever just get to reserve to the fact that my life is going to be this way and it's never going to get better than this. I don't ever want to feel that way, and you get that way sometimes. But I'm hoping to continue to get stronger. I'm going to continue to try with my sleep schedule. Hopefully there will be some treatment with the sleep study. Hopefully the neurologist will have some insights, some answers, some things to try to hopefully help with the headaches, with the fibromyalgia part, or the neurological issue, whatever it actually is. I hope. So I have hope for now. I hope that I don't lose it again, because there have been so many times that I have lost hope in regard to feeling better at all. I don't even know what I'm going to do with my eyeballs today. Maybe my friend Lisa, my beautiful friend Lisa, Lisa Lipsticks, hi Lisa, bought this for me just because she was being a sweetheart and a half. And so maybe that's what I'll play with today. I think this is a dupe for a Lime Crime palette, but this is the UCANBE Dreamland. And I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's pretty, and I think I will enjoy using it, so I'll come up with something. But I did get a couple more things. I think I'm gonna try. I really have always wanted these lashes, so I got these Miami lashes by Lily. So I'm gonna get those sized up, and I'm going to use those. I got some Buxom lip liners and a couple MAC lippies, so I think that's what I'll use today. And I think that's all I can tell you as far as the health update, because I really don't have any answers. But I hope maybe by the next time I give you a health update, maybe I will have some answers by that time. We shall see. In the meantime, I would appreciate prayers and well wishes and all the good vibes and all those things, because I just want to be better. I just want my quality of life to be a little bit better. So I'm just going to experiment and zoom through the process of putting on this eyeshadow, and I'll show you what I'm using when I use it. And that way, even because there's so much talking, this won't be such a long video. Get ready with me videos, especially when I'm giving updates on anything, seem to be really long. But hopefully you're interested. But I'm gonna get into this eye palette and see what I can come up with. All right, so smoky, fallish prettiness. I really like it. I think it's very pretty. I used a lot of colors, so that was fun to try a new palette. One thing I did get, and I've had one of these before in black, and I really liked it. It is a Tarte High Performance Neutral Tartiste Double Take Eyeliner. And so it's very infrequent that you see a good brown liquid eyeliner. And so this has a brush tip, actually it's a felt tip. Yeah, felt tip liquid liner on one side, and it has a pencil, a retractable pencil on the other side. And so you have the best of both worlds, but I really got it for the brown. And actually I think this color will look good with the eye look that I created and the lippy that I plan on using. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to do my mascara, liner, and all that, and then I'll come back and show you the pretty lashes. I guess I'll probably put them on just to show you how the band works and all that. I'll have to size them and all that first, and then we'll do a look together, and then we'll be out of here. All right, so this is what the brown liner looks like. I had a little bit of trouble getting it to show up, and the lines are a little bit wonky, but it's the best I could do with a felt tip. I am so spoiled on brush tip liners that I just could barely make that work for myself. So these are the Miami lashes. They're beautiful. So I'm gonna put them on. The band is pretty thick, so it may be a challenge. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so these are very dramatic lashes, but I like them. I think they're pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lipstick, and what I've got is Hush Hush lip liner from Buxom, and a new from the Ulta Haul MAC cream sheen, and it's called Cream in Your Coffee. Very pretty fallish brownish color, rosy brown. So that's what I'm going to go for. Go ahead and put that on now. That feels super nice, and that is pretty. My teeth think so too. All right, so let's back up. Well, actually, I probably need to make sure my eyeliner isn't wonky, because this lash band was a booger. And do a little blending. My neighbor is weed eating. Pretty. So I feel like I shouldn't even be talking because of the weed eating, but this is the final look. I do like it. I think it's pretty. I think the lashes are so giant that you probably can't even see what's going on behind there, but that's okay because the lashes are pretty. So I'm going to back you all the way out. I am going to use my Rich Looks Cosmetics Slay All Day and Mint Chocolate Chip because it's delicious. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, where's my fan? You guys know I gotta have my fan. All right.
Beast.
Okay, I am gonna go put on a pretty shirt and some pants and shoes and all the things that you have to put on to go out in public these days, and I'll be back. All right, folks, that is it. Again, this is the final look with the little pose and a little jingle bell from my kitty and a little weed eater from my neighbor. So it is what it is. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for hanging out with me while we got a little bit caught up. It's been a really busy time for me, and hopefully things will kind of level out and chill out in the near future. Jingle, jingle. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys.